Hello and welcome to my 7th episode of the Devblog from Wisp. Last week I was at the Global Game Jam, so I didn't post an update, so I will talk about what happened this week, because last week basically nothing happened. I went to the Global Game Jam on Friday, and so basically I did only the Game Jam stuff. Yeah, so this week I also didn't get as much done as I would like to have, because basically I worked on my older game, which is called For Smile, where I did some advertising and stuff, and contacted the press and so on. So basically I didn't get to do as much more work as I would like, but anyway, I also want to mention that if you didn't check out yet, you can take a look at the game I did at the Global Game Jam, and I want to thank my team for all the great support and everything. Anyway, so we are here to talk about Wisp. And as you can see, I did some levels. So what I want to do today is I want to go through the levels, talk a little bit about what I was thinking when I'm doing them, and what my intentions overall with level design and stuff like that is. So the first thing that you will see here is this instruction, which is basically my tutorial. So this is the first level, where I want to say that if you press A and move in a direction, you will basically fly around, which, yeah, I think it's clear enough. I don't know, but I will test it a little bit, and I want to stay with just short descriptions like here. So the first level, which basically what I do is I tell them how to do it, and now I give them a safe playground to test it. So basically here's nothing until you get to the goal, so here's just this, and you can then just fly around. If you die, you will immediately respawn, so everything should be safe. Yeah, so let's finish this level. As you can see, once you finish the level, you get a rating. I will cancel this now. This is also obviously not the correct stuff. Anyway, so once you finish the level, you will see the screen. You get a rating, in my case 1 star, because I just had I took so much time. So basically it's just dependent on the time right now. I'm not sure if it's correct like this. Once I cancel here, the countdown will be cancelled. Usually you will automatically get to the next level after a few seconds. I'm not sure how many seconds I will do. I took that approach from Netflix, which I think is a good idea, because you want them to continue all the time anyway. Yeah, so yeah, there's buttons, and now we will continue with the next level. By the way, the music and also the buttons from before are, I think, Creative Commons both, so I will post links to the guys who did them if you're interested in them in the show notes. Yeah, so what I do now is I basically make the level a little bit more complicated, but not a lot. I warn them of the orange tiles, and as you can see here, once you start flying around here, there will stuff be dropping down. So what I did is I took to heart what someone mentioned already. I should color code obstacles that are basically moving, because the other stuff here on the corners is not moving, and so I color coded the stuff that is moving, so that it's very easy to see what's going on. And I think it actually works out fine. But this, once again, is not a very hard level. None of the levels we will do today will be really hard. These are all the beginning levels, though. That's fine. And once again, 1 star, because I took too much time talking. So the next level, basically, all that happens is you will just reinforce what you've learned, and we will also do it a little bit more complicated. So you see here, we have a little bit of stuff where you need to fly around, but it's not moving. That's why it's blue. And then once again you see the drop down obstacle, this time with a little bit more stuff than before, so it's a little bit harder to avoid, but still not hard. And then you go here and finish the level once again. And yeah, so the next level, like, I will go through these very quickly, because like that's basically all I did is do this level, and like one more mechanic that you will see in the end, and also thinking about how I will do them. I think that the way I'm doing the levels, or that I'm doing the levels right now, is a good way, because it helps me to understand if a mechanic, when a mechanic is coming, and also if I do multiple obstacles, it's easier than afterwards to combine them. So anyway, what you see here, like now there's another instruction saying that Y will slow you down, and when he tries it, you will see that we will zoom in and out again as soon as you release. So what I also want to do is, like, every time the obstacle I explain a mechanic, a player mechanic, I want to use it instantly. So in this case, I think it's a good use case for the mechanic, because it is still not a new obstacle by any means, but you have to go around here, and it gets easier if you can slow down like this, then see what's going on, go a little bit there, and then slow down a little bit again. And I think it's easier like this. I don't know, maybe it's not the easiest, it's not the best one, but I think it's a good use case, and that's what I want to do. I think it's important that once you learn a mechanic, you should use it immediately, because if you don't use it immediately, you tend to forget it, and you don't know the context and where or how to use it. So yeah, that's my basic thinking here. The next thing is we have this last level that I did, where I introduced a new obstacle that you probably haven't seen. Like, I experimented a little bit with them, but I had problems, which is basically moving obstacles. I by the way think it looks pretty cool right now, like the moving stuff here, and it's also probably the hardest one. I'm still not sure if it's a little bit too hard, but we will see. So you have to get through them, like there are quite a lot of them right now. Maybe I should do a little bit less, I don't know, but that's fine. So basically you just need to walk through them here, oh, not too fast, and then you are basically done. That's all. I have the obstacles here are the new ones. I had a little bit of problems. Wait, I can... By the way, this stuff is just for debugging purpose, so I have an easier time doing that, but so I had problems before with the moving obstacles, that it didn't look great because of how it's spawning and everything, but like right now I really like it. It's basically lerping behind the source position a little bit, but still doing it, and then it gives a nice wobbly feeling. I don't know how else to call it. Anyway, so we are through here, I think. This will not work now anymore. This is the next level, so I will just quit it, because if I continue it will probably just break. And we are back to the debug menu. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was fine that I played the music, or that you liked it. I don't know about that. I just wanted to try out the format I had right now, because I didn't have that much to talk about today, and I also think it's more interesting for you guys to see what I'm actually working on. So anyway, 9 minutes almost over. I think that's fine. Probably 8 minutes after some cutting in the front and the end, or I don't know, maybe even a little bit less. So a shorter episode, but I hope you still enjoyed it. Have a nice week, and goodbye.